All right, y'all. Look, before I uh, go into my lesson, let me say this here. Um, People been asking me, right? Hey man, I see your what is it? Them yo, you be having this many views and that many thumbs ups and this and that and this and that. Listen, man, this is what they do to the truth, right? You know, this is what they do to the truth. They're gonna always manipulate the thumbs up and the views when it comes to um, certain brothers preaching and doing what? Doing preaching the truth. Mainly all, but some of them they can't stop because they're literally too much activity with certain brothers that they go that a lot of brothers really goes into their pay. But hey, it's obvious. I mean, one good prime example. Look at Apostle Tahar, Apostle Kabar, and the Bishop's page. Guys are definitely watching their video, but you know, there are many brothers in that watch other brother videos, and especially the apostles, right? You know, um, and they're definitely not getting the thumbs ups and the views that they will get. They're gonna manipulate the views. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. So hey, man, it is what it is. But just watch the video. That's all you got to do. And don't worry about the view. If they just got one thumb up on there and one view, that's the one you need to watch. Anyway, okay, now um, I'm gonna do like a second segment from the video I just did um, yesterday, right? What it was? What's the name of the video? What's the name of the video, y'all? The name of that video was y'all bear with me. Okay, yeah. Right wing, left wing, right wing, left wing. They all part of the what of the same damn eagle. The reason I put eagle, I usually just put bird, but I put eagle because who don't know that the American flag and they represent the eagle, right? And I say one wickedness over another, right? So I'm gonna do like a second segment on this right here. Yeah, you're right though. It ain't with five thumbs. I know this morning I seen about 25, but now it's five when I got up. But anyway, um, um, okay. Since I've gotten uh, a lot of people um, under a lot of well, let me just say since I've got under a lot of people's skin, a lot of y'all skin with this Democrat and Republican, because you all love to separate yourselves, especially through wickedness and evilness, right? So this Democrat and Republic thing, now let's open up I'm gonna open up a can of worms, right? What do I mean? I'm going to expose this crap further, right? So here we go. But before I get started, um, let me get shout out to the elect. Um, Let me get all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakar Quadash. Double honor to the apostle nails of great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brother that preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua have mercy upon you. Alright, let's get into it. Here we go. Oh no, I didn't want to start here. Let's go here. I'm finna prove what I was saying, right? On this right here is broken system. What do it mean? Broken system meaning what? The system that we are now under, the system has been broken, and especially since the Epstein files, when the exposure had been has these we just say the workers of the elite, right? They are being exposed on a level like never before, and everyone is talking about it because why? Because they're out there. You right? It says broken system. Lawmakers reveal new detail from what Epstein files. So in other words, you know, you could believe one thing, that if the wicked elite didn't want this information and didn't want this out, they wouldn't have it all over the news program, right? Even though they're independent thing, but still certain things that they will block and that they will not let us go into, not won't let us put up, because they'll just take it down, right? But they're not taking down. You notice lately they've been not taking down because they want to what? They want to destroy this current system that we are under, right? Meaning what? This beast, which is the system. The term beast in Revelation means what? The system, their system, which is what? Or how we buy, sell, and function in society, right? So they're trying to reboot. What do I mean by reboot? Concerning rebooting the system and going to what? A new world order concerning the what? The buying and selling. So this is going to be you Israelites final chance during this time to what? To choose whether you're going to choose the law or you're going to choose the system. To be part of this man's system to what? So you can buy and sell. Listen, man, we just hope that they go ahead on and just and push this microchip, man, because this is the last this is the last portion of prophecy that we need to take place, because shit, they're already piling up in the Middle East, huh? China over there, Russia over there, America over there, and you know Israel already over there, and hey, and where Israel and it look like Israel and America is by themselves, which is what the scriptures say anyway. That well, let me slow down a little bit. I can't never think about the damn. They shall hate the whore, meaning, where am I? 17. I want it. Y'all bear with me. Got indigestion. The 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, they shall hate the whore. Upon the beast goes into what? Again, the system that they have created. They're trying to reboot and trying to establish their what? Their birthright. And part of them trying to establish their birthright, they're trying to establish the New World Order, which is the system, which implies for you to what? To make a decision, and they're trying to control your spirit. This is what this is all about. So let's get into it. Listen up.
Midterms, and today lawmakers were supposed to be able to go look at the unredacted version of the newly released Epstein documents. But multiple lawmakers who went to review those documents say some of the text is still blacked out with no explanation as to why. Here's what Congressman Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna said about what they saw today.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
There are 6 men, some of them with their photographs, that have been redacted, and there's no explanation why those people were redacted.
What we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names published. We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is, we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms. What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ. At least one is a U.S. citizen, at least one is a foreigner, and the other 3 or 4 have names. I'm not sure if they're foreign or U.S.
In which field do they work in? Is it finance, banking, political?
One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
And some are, one of the others is a pretty prominent individual.
Pretty prominent individual.
Prominent individuals, like I was saying earlier, Democrat, Republican. They're all the same, or what? Part of that system that's created to what? To split the people and divide the people and have the people what? Thinking that they choosing these elected officials, especially the president. So they're going into it.
Why were these names redacted? This was also the day Epstein co-conspirator, there she is on your screen. Ghislaine Maxwell sat for a deposition with House Oversight Committee. No surprise, she invoked her Fifth Amendment right and declined to answer any questions. Watch this.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Her attorneys say she will testify if and only if President Trump grants her clemency. When MS Now asked the White House about this, the press office referred us to previous comments from Trump and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, saying the president is not thinking about granting that clemency. Today, the family of the late Virginia Giuffre, a victim of Jeffrey Epstein.
He's saying that why? Because he's part of it. Why would he do that? Huh? So why would he do that? That's a threat. Well, look, you talk, you going to jail.
Released a letter directed directly at Maxwell. They ended the letter with Virginia's last wishes for Maxwell. Quote, Ghislaine, you deserve to spend the rest of your life in a jail cell, trapped in a cage forever, like you trapped your victims. When it comes to Ghislaine Maxwell, it looks like her attorneys are now asking very powerful people to make a choice between truth and justice. They can either let her escape justice and hear the truth, or keep her behind bars as she keeps her mouth shut. One or the other. But here's something very important to remember. Just 4 years ago, DOJ prosecutors said she engaged in a pattern of dishonest conduct, that she lied repeatedly about her crimes. Even Trump very close allies like Mike Johnson and Todd Blanche have openly questioned whether her testimony would even be reliable. So the choice her attorneys want people to make seems like a pretty easy one. And the White House keeps saying that Trump is not thinking about giving her clemency. But here's a very important thing. We all know that what Donald Trump says one day does not matter at all. He could change his mind at any moment. So even if he ruled out giving Maxwell clemency, there is no way to know that for sure until Trump leaves the White House. And when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein himself, there are still so many questions. Not just about the scope of the terrible things he did, but about the network of people who remained in touch with him after his 2008 conviction. How did he become so wealthy? How did his network become so big? And was there any indication that extortion played a part? As the New York Times reported, Epstein drafted letters to...
Extortion meaning what? Going into what? Getting all these people over there in that on that island and filming them. Filming them, some getting drunk, some getting peeled out. And when I mean pill means some, they're getting some of them pills. Everybody's not, and trust and believe, everybody that went to the island is not willing. Right? This is what they do. They drug people. They drug them, take advantage of them. And, especially the men, go in them. And then they do what? Then when they come to, they put them on a big screen, then let them see what happened to them. Hey man, this is what's been going on for a long time, y'all. For a long time, right? This is the portion. This is why. But when some of them get proud, like Diddy, like R. Kelly, like Bill Cosby, and the list goes on and on and on and on. The ones that they come after, Diddy thought he was untouchable for real, because he himself, and I'm telling you, he himself had tapes of what? Of some of those prominent guys that was in what? Part of that secret society. Not talking about the upper echelon of the elite. He ain't never even met them. Right? But he had some tapes of them, and then so what? That's why you think they went in his homes? They always try to make everything about children and about women, just to make the situation sensitive. No, man. They want the tape that Diddy was that Diddy would claim that he got or whatever. This is what we have. Some niggas get proud and thinking they can what? Thinking they can bully the white man in his kingdom. No, you ain't gonna never be able to do that. Never.
Very powerful men, where he hinted at some kind of shared secrets. These are crucial questions, and they are not going away, no matter what Donald Trump or any of these very powerful redacted men, redacted names, no matter what they say. With that, let's get smarter with the help of our leadoff panel tonight. Luke Broadwater is here, Pulitzer Prize-winning White House correspondent for The New York Times. Leanne Caldwell, chief correspondent for Puck, and Susan Glasser, staff writer for The New Yorker. Okie doke. Leanne, today Jamie Raskin said in the files he saw a reference to a girl as young as 9 years old. Tonight, Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis told Midas Touch that very development changed her mind. Initially, she did not see what a big deal it was to see the Epstein files. She said they could move on. Now she says it's hugely important. What else are you hearing from your sources on the Hill?
Yeah, so Steph, it's that.
How can a 9-year-old being in a picture of paperwork is not a big deal? Come on, man. Trust me, believe it. They're younger than that. And some even infants. And we know what they do with them.
That exact thing, that when people actually dig into this and hear the details and read some of this, that it really becomes apparent at how horrific, how terrible, how disgusting all of this is. Because for so long, people who weren't really involved or caring much about the Epstein files, knowing very little, it was just a distance thing over there. But the thing is that now that people are being able to see some of these dynamics, some of the emails that go back and forth, and some of these details, it's absolutely horrifying.
These your politicians, folks. These your politicians. You know, y'all want to scream right, left, right, red, blue. This is what you all been doing, and this is who you all been supporting. Huh? All these people is not from the left, and all these people are not from the right. They're from both parties. They're from both parties. I'm going to come back to this right quick. Let's listen to this brother right quick, because he has something to say. Listen to this right here right quick. Let's do this right quick.
All right? I don't believe in Republican or Democrat because it's not in the Constitution. It's not in our Declaration of Independence. It's just American, one nation under God. Whatever they do as one. The trick is to give us the illusion that there is a choice, that there is a separation, to keep us fighting over these things. These things right here. Keep us not talking about the fact that we're working harder. 5 generations now. We're working harder than our great-great-great-grandparents and our grandparents did, who had no education, who sent their first generations to college. We were on our way somewhere, and then something happened in the 50s. One of the big things I think that happened is they took the Bible out of school. People don't know, a lot of you young people don't even know the Bible was curriculum. And I'm not religious once again, but the Bible gives us a strong moral code to live by. We were family. We were community. We knew our neighbors. Our children played outside, met new friends. Those new friends wanted to spend the night, and they had to ask their parents, and their parents became friends. Today, mom's in the park on fentanyl, and we think they give us this propaganda about it comes from China, it comes from here. They didn't want this stuff in this country, it wouldn't be here. This is a weapon against us. There is an attack on all of us, red, blue, conservative, liberal, it doesn't matter. The American is under attack. Our dollar is buying a lot less. We're working a lot harder for it. We're losing our constitutional rights, whether you realize it or not, a lot through the technology that we're using.
See, but the point I wanted to just focus on was what we spoke about, what red and the blue. You know, he's lost on his the religion. Well, we just say religion aspects of who he is and what goes on with that. Or he just didn't want to say it on camera. I don't know. But the whole point is, or what I'm highlighting is there's no sides, y'all, when it comes to being part of this man's system, his general makeup of what they create concerning this Democrat and Republic, red and blue. This is madness. When you support stuff like this here, you're supporting wickedness, man.
And it goes back to what some of these Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is no longer in Congress, and a few other Republicans were saying that why this is so necessary. Now you have on Capitol Hill, you have a lot more people, mostly Democrats, but who are really anxious to get to a lot more of this information. You have members of Congress today, Thomas Massie, Ro Khanna, who said that there are still so many questions, even though they went to the Justice Department to have more access than what was released to Congress. They said the redactions are still unacceptable. There's too many, and that the Justice Department is not still following the law, Steph.
Lauren Boebert was asked by a reporter. She said she thinks after seeing what she saw today, and she's going back tomorrow, Maxwell should have a longer prison sentence. Susan, we just heard sound from Thomas Massie talking about the names of 6 men that were redacted. There are so many unanswered questions about Jeffrey Epstein's network of powerful men. How much faith do you have in this environment with so much going on every day we're going to get any kind of answers?
Yeah, Steph, I think that's really the question here. We're in a situation in
Powerful men doesn't necessarily go into no actors and singers, right? We're talking about these politicians. Nobody's more powerful than these politicians, right? The ones that are running for mayor all the way up to the president. Those are the powerful figures that they're talking about, because no one talks and speaks about the elite. The elite is never spoken of because they're what? They are hidden behind what? They're pawns. They're hidden behind their pawns. So before I play this, let's go to this right here. Let's, since they spoke about children, check out this Disney thing here concerning the children, right? Listen to this right here. Look at this right here. Now this is let me pull this thing over a little bit. Make sure I got. Oh, it's over right there, right? This is Puff P Diddy, and what's his boy name? God damn it! I just had the name on the tongue. Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking. Justin Bieber. Check out Diddy where he lick his tongue right here. Everybody has seen this him before, but check it out. This is just basically just images that they were putting in your children Nickelodeon and Disney films that people just totally ignored. They ignored it. So, y'all gotta stop pushing this Republican Democrat stuff, because they all part of the same the same damn ego, man. I'm just say ego, right? Because they represent the so-called white man, represent the ego. They love the ego. Not to go into all of the aspects concerning it, but hey, this is what this is. This is their system, and they make you all part of this system by what? By joining themselves together with these actors and singers and dancers, man. Actors and singers, sports stars, they all what? They all is part of that joint. It don't jump over nobody's head, no one's head. This is why you have a lot of back in the day, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? Early 80s, I'm saying early 80s, probably right up to about mid 80s. You had a lot of one-hit wonders. This is why you have a lot of people that are one-hit wonders. You see them, they make a hit and they gone because either they were not with it, or they just totally just mess their mind up. Everybody not with it, man, but hey, it happens.
In Washington, where the functioning of accountability has broken down. And I think that's why you're seeing this sort of exceptional thing of Congress passing a law demanding the release of these documents at the same time that you don't have a functioning Republican committees in either the House or the Senate working to exercise oversight really in a meaningful way over the executive branch of Donald Trump. You have the Justice Department of Trump and the FBI taken over and politicized. And, look at the contrast between what's happening here in the United States, where we have reporters talking about this, we have individual members of Congress, but as far as we can tell, we don't know that there's any investigative process to look at this, whereas the political scandal unleashed by Congress releasing these documents, the accountability seems to be happening in places like Great Britain, where it's a bigger scandal for the Prime Minister of Great Britain, who never even met Jeffrey Epstein, than it is for Donald Trump, the President of the United States, who's all over these documents. And I think, people would be well advised to sort of take a breath and say, how is it possible? We have a sitting Commerce Secretary here who was apparently in business with Jeffrey Epstein, despite having lied and said they had nothing to do with him. And where are the Republicans calling for him to resign? Where is the investigation of that relationship? And, so it just, to me, it's really a sign of the breakdown in Washington.
But that example in the UK, Susan, is there only one difference? Like, why is the UK treating this different than the United States? Well, one reason, Donald John Trump, isn't that?
Well, if only it were just one man, but at this point, it's a broken system, Steph, in addition to
I know, but I'm saying Donald John Trump
right?
protecting...
Where's the Justice Department? Where's the Justice Department functioning right now? In Donald Trump's first term, there was still the possibility of investigations, but Trump has taken out the public integrity section of the Justice Department. He's turned the FBI into an immigration enforcement agency. According to great reporting from the New York Times recently, 20% of FBI agents have been redirected to immigration functions. Our system isn't working because of Donald Trump's election. And
because they're breaking the system down. Everything that all of these different agencies and programs and school programs, they're tearing it down. They're tearing it down. Y'all gonna have to choose, y'all. Y'all gonna have to choose real soon. Real soon. You gonna have to choose real soon. Whether you gonna be part of that system, that new system that they're, which is the beast. MOTB, y'all. What are you gonna do? Can't straddle the fence.
And what he's done to the executive branch. But, there's a lot of people in our system who are not doing the jobs that they're supposed to do, and not just the president.
All right, well, let's talk about somebody else in his administration, Luke. Howard Lutnick. Several lawmakers are calling for Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, to resign over his appearances in the Epstein files. And I want to be clear, he is not accused of any criminal wrongdoing. The White House is standing behind him. Is it because they really believe in him or his case? Or is it because they're just never giving in? I spoke to a very senior person in the business community today who just said, no, they don't want to set precedent. We still have millions of pages we have not seen. And if they punt Lutnick, what will that mean for others? And the comparison they gave is, well, there's a medical contributor that CBS didn't get rid of, and they doubt CBS cares about that medical contributor. But given the millions of pages we haven't seen, if they punt somebody at that level, and then a bigger fish ends up named, then they're in quite a pickle.
Yeah, I think your contact is right on the logic and the reasoning there. I mean, Howard Lutnick may not have been exposed as abusing anyone or doing anything illegal in these files, but his public statements were exposed to be not true. He said that he had one interaction with Jeffrey Epstein, and that was.
I think he's UK, right? He was part of. I think he's from UK. I think it's UK. He called for what? Lutnick? Let me see something. Let me see what Lutnick is from. I think it's UK. Was Lutnick involved with Epstein files? Hold up, y'all. Damn. Hold up, I ain't have my phone up here. Y'all bear with me. Was Lutnick involved with the Epstein files? It says, yes, Howard Lutnick, the current, United States Secretary of Commerce. Why did I think about, I don't know why I say UK. Anyway, Howard Lutnick, the current United States Secretary of Commerce, as of February 2025, is involved in the Jeffrey Epstein files, with documents released in late 2025 and early 2026 showing that his contact with Epstein was more extensive than he previously claimed. Contradicted claims, while Lutnick stated in October 2025 that he cut ties with Epstein in 2025 after being disturbed by his behavior. Newly released documents show they remained in contact through at least to 2018 island visit and emails. Document revealed that in 2012, way back there, for years after Epstein's initial conviction, Lutnick, his wife, and their children visited Epstein's private island, Little St. James, for lunch, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. But hey, there it is. But they try to say like he ain't had little to do with that he had no wrongdoing with Epstein. Lies.
It one and done, he said. And then you see years later, he's actually in business with Epstein. And years later, there's talk of him visiting him at the island. And his name comes up again and again in the files. And so, their interactions were more robust. And he did have more ties to Epstein than he let the public to believe. And what else came out today is that Donald Trump apparently also has made statements that contradict evidence within the files. He and his press secretary have said he threw Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, and there's evidence in the files, according to Jamie Raskin, who read them today, that that's not true, that Epstein was never thrown out of Mar-a-Lago. So, if we're going to, I think in the administration's view, if you're going to start firing people or throwing people out of government because they lied about Jeffrey Epstein, well, you might have to start looking all the way to the top. So, yes, there's a lot of information coming out, and a lot of people in the Trump administration and elsewhere are being exposed for having much closer ties to Jeffrey Epstein than they have said publicly.
All right. So, hey, there we had it. Let me see something here. Let me just say, let's see something here. Listen to this here. It's just small clips of me just listen to this here. This is what's the name, like Barbara Marx Hubbard.
She say what I think she said, or am I just too deep into these Epstein files?
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat,
Rewind!
The babies we eat, the babies we eat.
Is this mother in the files too? I'm going to check. Did she say what I think she said?
Listen again.
Or am I just too deep into these Epstein files?
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat,
Rewind!
The babies we eat, the babies we eat.
Is this mother in the files too? I'm going.
Hey man, this is what you got. This is what you have when you dealing with these demons, man. When you're dealing with these folks, this is what you're going to have to be part of. You're gonna have to be part of this sickness right here. I opened the what's the name up over here? Their tongue shall testify against them. That was somebody put over here on the thing. Their tongue shall testify against them. Those are what you call walking demons. I'm just reading a few of these over to the right. I ain't turn the thing around. I ain't feel like turning it again. It's called Freudian slip, and such slips show what? Show hidden truth. Nina says demons tell on what? On themselves. Aquarian dreaming, the real of the what? Hispanic lady screaming outside a hotel. They were eating human. Y'all remember that? Human. You know what? I ought to see can I pull. Let me see can I pull that up. Let me see something. Let me see can I, what she talking about right there. I'm finna pull that up. Let's see right quick here. Lady outside of hotel screaming, they eating humans.
Lady outside of hotel screaming,
There
they
you go.
eating humans.
Here we go, here. Y'all back with me.
This video has been going viral all over the internet, and this is what we know about it. On August 3rd, 2009, in Mexico, the news broadcast features a young model named Gabriela Rico Jimenez. She claimed that she was invited to an Illuminati party while screaming in front of a luxury hotel. She repeatedly pleads for her freedom, and she claims that she was held against her will. From the captions, you can see that she made some wild accusations at very big names. Viewers of this video made wild claims of MK Ultra, although none of these conspiracies have been proven to be true. Gabriela went missing after what appears to be her arrest in this video, and she still has never been found.
What does that mean? See, you always gonna be a fruitcake or crazy when you're what? When you're screaming things like this here. Hey man, it is what it is. Last but least, right? Let's go over here to Cat Williams. Listen up. I'm finna get into some of y'all actors now. Right? Some of y'all actors that y'all love.
A pleasure to have this as a life. And
by the way, this on media tutorials or review page, right? Cat Williams Strikes Again.
I was telling you earlier, like, that's why you are in the position you're in, because as an artist in any part or genre, it's important how faithful you stay to what you deliver to your audience, whatever that may be. And as a radio guy, what you have been able to do in Los Angeles and then make it international is just like the stuff you've done is not even doable in a small market, let alone a large market. Like somebody who is really the voice of LA. Like,
y'all bear with me. I was a point I want to get. I think it's right up in here. Y'all bear with me real quick. Here it is, right here. Here it is.
That Will Smith know the story I have not told.
Will Smith.
So it keeps everybody honest, you know? Eddie Murphy know what I haven't said.
Bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
Look, you pay $10 to see Will Smith and get a great show and a response to what? To the Diddy allegations. You know, who don't know that this guy is locked all the way in because he even got his children involved, right? He even turned his own son and daughter out. And wind that back a little bit. I was running my mom.
Bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like Baby White. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumbass stuff because it's like people, it's so many things people say so much stuff, but you know that one it was y'all was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad. This song is called Bulletproof.
I love my wife, and I'm not gay, and I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question and your moral fiber question and all that, when all I was doing was trying to be nice to somebody.
Eddie Murphy tells E.T. that his wife and children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected transsexual at 4:45 in the morning. He says he thought he was aiding a distraught woman.
Looks like a pretty Hawaiian girl in the corner crying. It looks like she was crying. She goes, oh, Eddie Murphy. She noticed him at the light. She recognized Eddie Murphy. Oh, my God. So I go, what are you doing? Why are you out here working the streets so late? She goes, oh, I'm on my way home. Can you give me a ride home?
Police tailed them for 2 miles before pulling him over. Police say he is guilty of no misconduct, but there was a warrant out for the alleged prostitute. A judge has ordered that man, 20-year-old Addison Ciuli, to serve 90 days in jail.
That man.
Murphy says he has often stopped to try to help prostitutes, but here is what he said in an impromptu news conference on the set of his new movie.
Being a good Samaritan blew up in my face, basically, with that. I'm never giving anyone a lift again.
Y'all, I mean, hey, that's what it is. This is what you get when you part of that, it gonna seep down through what? Hey man, you gotta always be, especially Eddie Murphy. He's very successful in his day. He's still successful, right? But hey, let's get into the word. How many Israelites, right? How many Israelite men and women have Esau turned into what? An abomination. What do I mean by that? Sold their what? Sold their souls to, right? And in turn, after being ran through and annihilated, the word annihilated goes into what? Completely destroyed, wiped out, or what? Or utterly defeated. Meaning defeated as a man. Anytime you allow that to happen, that's literally setting your soul to what? To the devil of the earth, which is the wicked of the earth, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You can't. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. What that? Habakkuk. What is it? 2:15. Woe unto him. Him means what? Esau, Edom, that giveth his neighbors drink, meaning his neighbors is the Israelites. That putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Meaning what? Those Israelites now they're what? They won't have any covering for what? For this truth. No covering, right? But verse 16 goes into thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, meaning exposed, right? That goes into the wicked. It goes into the wicked of the earth, Esau, Edom first and foremost. But that also means it goes into as well being exposed, which is who? Their counterparts, which is those Israelites that have turned and gave their souls to what? To the wicked of the earth. Thou also had let thy foreskin be uncovered, meaning exposed. The cup, what cup? That cup of wrath of the Lord Yahweh right hand shall be turned unto thee. Talking about Esau, Edom. So this is why you see the overall turn of events and these things, the system crashing and everything just going to shit, because they're doing it. Because they have a what? They have a plan. They have a plan. These wicked elite have a plan, but their plan is not going to work. Because the Lord is going to what? It's called shameful spewing shall be turned unto what thee, and shameful spewing shall be on what? On thy glory. Huh? So shameful spewing is on their glory. So they're at that point, this point, they can't, what that is, Lamentation 4 and 21, 22, I don't go to it, but it goes into Esau, Edom. He's going to have to drink out of that same cup that we have drunk out of, right? But he's gonna get it worse, right? He's going to go into captivity for 1,000 years, 1,000 plus. Let me put it that way. Just because I say 1,000 don't mean necessarily going to be 1,000 years, right? But yeah, and now that they all are being put to shame, shame goes into what? Being exposed for what? For that wickedness. They are what? They are running scared. They all are running scared. They don't know what to do because they don't know what the elite is whatever they do, and these actors and politicians, they don't know what the elites are going to do until they get their script. Then they know. Until they get their script, they're going to run around him with madness, confused, and not know what's going on until they get the script. But some ain't going to get it. Because, what they do, Nahum 3 and 1, woe to what? Lo to the, woe meaning destruction to the bloody city, America. That's the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey, which is starting with the Israelites, the prey departeth not. Because most of us over here in America and is being and taking part in this wickedness, whether it's part of their secret society, or you are taking part in what? Even being running around to some Democrat or Republican. Either way. Right? Whether you're what? You're a small time wickedness, or what? Or you're a big time wickedness. It does not matter. Wickedness is wickedness, man. You can't get past it. Verse 4 of Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredom, that's America, and families through her witchcraft, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt. It goes into what? Skirt meaning goes into being exposed. So they're being exposed on a what? On a level that they have never been exposed before. Right? The scriptures don't lie. But most people are what? They are confused and thinking that what? That Esau Edom actually is going to continue to what? To control every aspect of what? Of this world. They're not going to. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness. And this is what's taking place. The nakedness is part of their what? Them being exposed and them bringing what they have created. This is the system to try to what? To reboot that new world order, MOTB, thy nakedness in the kingdoms of thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock, meaning despised. Look at the world, man. The world despises America and Israel. They're being despised, and they're in the process of them being despised, and then being exposed. Now they're being mocked for their wickedness. They're being mocked. The world is mocking them. Not just inside of America, but outside of America. Everyone is mocking America and mocking these people, because why? Because they know they're wicked, man. And it shall come to pass that what? That all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee. So no one wants to be part of America, and no one definitely want to be a part of those the so-called small, well, that's so-called the small hatters over there that calling them what what does the brother say, that Benjamin not a Jew. So no one wants them people around them, because now their wickedness is very clear concerning who they are and what they are. Now the whole world sees the elite. You all elite. When I say what, well, political puppets, actors, sports stars, right? Thanks to what? Thanks to the Epstein files. Esau on trial, man, before the world. And he's being what? He's being judged. Let's go back over here to, what that was, 6. I made a quote, what it was? Nahum 3 and 6. What is it? Oh, they're gazing stock, meaning being despised. Gazing stock meaning despised. The world despising these devils, man. You know, all they that look upon the what? Upon thee shall what? Shall flee from thee. It's that simple. Let's go to, what do I want? I think it's 64. Psalm 64 and verse 5. I just start here. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. And that evil matter, it's going into, first and foremost, which is the New World Order. Right? That's what they're trying to do, trying to establish, and for the world to be take part in in their system. And they're trying to delete, man. They said what is 8 billion people on the planet? They want 8.5 of them gone. Well, literally, they want 500 million people on Earth. That's what they want. They want the rest of them gone. This is the wickedness of Esau Edom. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune, meaning what? They gather together of land snares privately. You know, and these snares goes into false teachings among us through these devils and what? Our people. Right? Because our people, they're going to always use Israelites to what? To control the masses, the biggest and the masses of us for what? For a purpose. And that purpose is for what? To influence us to doing something normally we wouldn't do if we wasn't influenced by what? By our people. Which is mainly the devil, the devil of the earth, Esau Edom. They say, who shall see them? But now they can't hide. Because why? Let's drop down to verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Their own tongue, meaning again, they're being what? Being exposed. They're exposing themselves. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall what? Shall flee away. Everybody that see them that shall flee away. No one wants to be. So again, Democrats, Republicans, both sides are controlled by the what? By the wicked elites of this world. You can't get around it. They encourage themselves in what? In an evil matter. New World Order. /MOTB, that beast, that system that you're going to have to what? Going to take that chip and you're going to do what? You're going to be part of this, and most of y'all going to run and do it. You're going to run to do it. But I'm going to say this here, their witchcraft is no longer working on the bulk or the majority that normally would. We mean the word as an entire for what? For sure. But they're being exposed. But why? Because again, they are exposed. You know what? I was gonna close that off. But let's go to Isaiah 40. Isaiah 47. Hold up, y'all. Bear with me. 47 and 9. Yeah, witchcraft. Because their witchcraft is no longer working on the masses of the people like it normally would. Okay, verse 9. Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two, I think the point in 10, but I'm start at 9. But these two things shall come to pass thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children, the widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their what? In their perfection, meaning in their destruction, right? For the what? The multitude of thy what? Thy sorceries, meaning their witchcraft, and for the great abundance of thy what? Enchantment. Enchantment goes into what? Witchcraft. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. That goes into what? Your secret society, man. In / what? Their secret worship. Eating children, drinking blood. This is what they do. They sacrifice and do things under what? According to what? The secret society, which is secret worship. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom in thy knowledge, it, now with me, it has perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am. So what he doing? He's proud. He boasting in him. What's boasting in their wickedness? This is what they do. Has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, meaning their mind, I am. And none else what besides me. They think they're what? They have made themselves the Heavenly Father and His Son. Their image, in their image, and what? And have changed the names that you all what? That you all refuse to let go. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises. Seeing how it comes all of a sudden all around people, and people are, wow, I can't believe it. So it's been true all the time. Wow, this is this is that. This is what's going on. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it what riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to what? To put it off. Because like every day there's what? There's something new. Why you think Trump came out with that monkey, that one monkey mess, calling the ex-president his wife a monkey? He did that to do what? To get y'all off them Epstein files. That was the purpose, the sole purpose of what? Of that. Because that during the time with them Epstein files was showing up hit in. Right? Let's see some. Stand. Let's see. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee, suddenly which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, meaning spells or witchcraft, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So now their witchcraft and their enchantments are what? Are not working as it once was pressing on the masses. They're having problems along the way, but they're still going to push forth it in the best way that they can to the masses, and the wickedness and the violence are going to increase, because they're going to what? They're going to have a pushback from especially from these redneck down here in the southern portion of America, wherein thou had labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail. Because they're what? These rednecks down here, they'll fight. And they got plenty of guns. You know, most of the one people that live up north, and they don't have as many weapons that they have down here. They got pawn shops on every corner down here, man. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from what? From these things. Now that's the end for sure. No, these things, but to start with what? The outing of the people and the exposing of one another, and in the process of exposing one another, that's gonna what? That's gonna cause a what? A collapse of the what? Of the inner workings of America, and the inner workings of America. That includes what? You all being able to what? How you all buy, sell at this present moment, because that money ain't gonna be no good in a minute. You're gonna need that chip to what? To buy and sell. Again, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, you know y'all love them damn horoscopes and shit, especially you women, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So that first and foremost, that goes into the nuclear destruction of America, right? Because Yahweh Shai, along with the angels, they're going to what? Because these missiles, the nuclear missiles that you see, which I wasn't really going into, but just to give a consensus, this precept here goes into that portion of what? Of Esau's destruction and the ending of his of this kingdom, which is created for his what? For his own destruction. This is what these nuclear missiles is created for, mainly for what? For Babylon, America, to what? To be what? That lake of fire. So man, hey, this is where we at. Stand up and save thee. Let's see if they're going to stand up and say all that wickedness that you are made yourself part of. Let's see in these times, in these latter days, the latter time that we're in, that you're going to be saved. So when that know, say, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rokah Kudash, Shalom.